All right, we're gonna see what he talking about.
Trimmers, blowers, whatever. It's just confusing. What do I buy? So I want to, in this video, give you some advice on a startup lawn care setup that can get you going in your lawn business. You know, and I'll be honest with you, this setup is not only something you could use to start up.
Is it affordable though?
But if you just were wanting to kind of stay small in your lawn business, this is a setup that you could actually use for years. Or, of course, you could always upgrade if you want to. So let's check out this lawn care setup. I want to show you the equipment and talk to you about just some practical advice when you are getting a lawn. Fantastic. But, you know, not all of us are on a budget like that. And so here is the recommendation that I make to people. And I'll finish that thought in just a second, but let me check out that this is an Exmark Pioneer E-Series. Okay, so the E-Series is the lower end series, and Exmark doesn't make this mower anymore. A lot of times what you'll find is the mower 8-inch deck. And so here's the advice I give people a lot of times, and we'll check out this mower here. You see this one's in pretty good shape. Let me check the hour meter.
Thinking about going solar, but not sure whether it's worth it for your home? Well, before you get quotes,
He got us.
Okay, 179 hours. So let me tell you the story on this real quick. My dad retired about a year ago, and he says, you know, some more of a full-fledged commercial or Kohler, those brands. I know some people have a preference from one or the other. I've had good success with both brands. So, and it's going to be faster and you know, overall a better mower than this mower. So, you know, and that's another route you can take. But I personally, if I was spending somewhere between the range of $3,000 to $5,000, I recommend not going and buying just a brand new residential model mower. I would rather buy a slightly used commercial grade mower that has low hours than a brand new residential model mower, just based on the way these mowers perform. So, all right, Exmark E-Series 30.
What he said there? He said I'm confused now.
$1,000, and it's going to be faster and you know, overall a better mower than this mower. So, you know, and that's another route you can take. But I personally, if I was spending somewhere between the range of $3,000 to $5,000, I recommend not going and buying just a brand new residential model mower. I would rather buy a slightly used commercial grade mower that has low hours than a brand new residential model mower, just based on the way.
So he said use commercial over brand new residential.
Then you're gonna, you know, two like full commercial mowers, then you're gonna need at least a 12-foot, probably a 14-foot. So on a 12-foot trailer, I used to have a zero-turn mower, and then I have a Walker mower, which is one of the top-of-the-line bagging mowers out there. And I could actually flip the deck up on that Walker and put it on the front of the trailer, and then put the my mulching mower on the back, and I could fit two on a 12-foot trailer. But a 14-foot would be better, and even maybe a 16-foot with a dual axle. You save a lot buying used. I just prefer to go buy a new one. Okay, let's check out the backpack blower here. We've got now this is what my dad decided. He wanted to get a bigger blower. He wanted a big one, okay? So he went and bought Echo's biggest blower at the time. It's an Echo PB770T, okay? This is the big Echo. It's got tons of power. It's just not so heavy. So there's a Steel 94R, I believe, is one that I've heard highly recommended. I like Husqvarna. I use a Husqvarna 520
think we got the
hours on a string trimmer. To me, it just doesn't make sense to try to save, you know, $100 on a used one, you know, unless you just found one that was sure enough very gently used. But $370 may seem like a lot of money spent on a trimmer, but if it's a piece of equipment that you're going to be relying on day after day, you can't have it breaking. I mean, if you saved 100 and bought a used one and then it broke down one time and you had to put in the shop and get the carburetor cleaned out and all, which those things happen. But I'm just saying, to me, it's worth go ahead and spend the money, buy brand new handheld equipment. So I would get a brand new blower, brand new edger, brand new string trimmer.
All right, I did the same thing. I went brand new.
And if I wanted to save money, then, I would try to get a slightly used zero turn. One other thing about the string trimmers. Now, a lot of people don't like taking the guard off. I prefer to take the guard off, and I take the head off of my string trimmers, and I put on a speed feed head. I really
It look like we're gonna have to get a speed feed head. Let's stop that right there. We're gonna check out that speed feed head. 'Cause I've been hearing about it, but I didn't know I can do it on this deal. All right, I think this might be it. Show us how much there is on that too. I think I seen them at Home Depot. It look like they like 40 a piece.
like speed feed heads. You can load the line as they advertise in 30 seconds or less. You don't have to take the actual head off to load the line. You just simply cut you off a piece of string for whatever size speed feed head. On this one, maybe a 12-foot piece of line, feed it from one side through the other, and then wind the head up. Very easy to load the line, and I highly recommend the speed feed heads for whatever trimmer you're using. So we're going to check out this edger. This is a steel edger here that's more of a kind of their residential model steel edger. So this is a steel FC55. Now you can upgrade and get a little bit better model. I mean, this one's working fine, but anyway, steel makes good handheld equipment. Whatever brand handheld equipment you prefer, whether it be Steel, Husqvarna, Red Max, Echo, they're all going to make edgers too. So you can just pick up a commercial grade edger. Again, you don't have to do that if you want to edge with your string trimmer, but when starting out, if you want to make people have a great clean edge without having to worry about practicing with the string trimmer, then a stick edger can make that very easy for you. So stick edger, you're looking somewhere probably in the neighborhood of $300 to get a nice commercial one. And I want to talk about a push mower. Here's what I tell people. Okay, here's an important lesson, in my opinion, in starting a lawn business or being successful. Don't feel like, especially when you're starting out, that you have to have a piece of equipment for every single situation.
I'm missing a trailer racks, and a mower. I think I need them pieces of equipment.
If you want to use a walker mower all the time and you have that bagging capability, then fine, let's try to make money with it. But don't feel the pressure that you have to do everything. So for instance, if you don't want to push mow and you don't want to push mow, then you know what? Just tell people I don't push mow, and you might have to turn that property down. In a polite way, you say, I'm sorry, we just don't offer push mow. And
I mean, we ain't gonna mind push mower. I think that's gonna be bad. We're gonna try to work our way up and we get like a ride on. But I think Bobby said he had like a trailer or something. No, like what is it called? Oh, a little ride on lawnmower.
I would be happy to cut it with, you know, my zero turn mower. And you may lose that customer, and that's okay. But if you want to push mow, if you think, well, I'm just going to do it, you know, a few push mowing yards, I don't, you know, if I need to get in somebody's backyard, then I just tell people, go buy, you know, whatever, big box store, get something that's got a Honda engine. Now, the Hondas are with the Honda engine are probably a little better. This is a Troy built with a Honda engine. But this mower's fine if you just need a push mower every once in a while to mow some.
Definitely gonna try to get the commercial Honda. Gonna find a dealer. Which one it was called? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was this. $1,400.
Somebody's backyard that has a tight gate. Okay, now you obviously the commercial push mowers that are put out by Exmark and said with 23 hours on it was my bid. You buy a $300 edger, it's going to put you at $5,700, and then you go buy a if you want a blower like this, it's going to cost you $500. You know, you can obviously get one cheaper. The one I was talking about, the EBZ 5000, you go buy you and they're not, you know, on it was my dad got for handheld equipment. Let's say you get a $370 trimmer, plus tax is roughly $400. So you're going to be at $5,400. You buy a $300 edger, it's going to put you at $5,700 and more or less. But what I tell people is, you know what, let's focus on getting going, get some customers, get the money coming in. Okay, you start making money, you can always upgrade your equipment later. Okay, and that trimmer is good to go. You know, that backpack blower is good to go. But let's say a year from now you're doing great and you want to sell this mower, which is still going to have a lot of value to it, and you a full grade commercial mower. Well, you know, I've got some time, but once I get my route filled up and I'm staying busy, I got understanding what to look for in buying.
All right, that was it on this one. He made some valid points. Just keep it simple, efficient, cost effective, and do what you gotta do until you gotta do it. Meaning, use what you got. We're gonna catch us on the next one.